Hi everyone, time for another quick watch review, another recent addition to my collection. As I've said before on my channel, all watches that you see here are watches that I own. There are no loaners, no gifts, nothing that I haven't put my own money towards. So obviously my reviews might be a little bit biased, depends on how you look at it. But they are watches that I have spent my money on and decided to add to my collection. And for the most cases, for the videos on my channel here, they all remain in my collection. A few of them have been sold off, but for the most part, the majority of them have stayed and will continue to stay. This watch is a little bit different from that model because this watch, this new MRTG GShock b3000d, just came out very recently. And I was able to pick it up at part of a kind of a self-selected gift program. We'll leave it at that. So I was given kind of a catalog of items from to choose from, and this is one that I chose. So it wasn't my money, but it was my choice, and I am quite happy with that choice and very pleasantly surprised, actually. So looking at a little bit more, the MTG B3000. This is a relatively new release. This particular one in stainless steel is only about a month old, I believe. And there were a couple other versions in black IP coating earlier this year. But a lot of people were waiting for a stainless version, and this is it. So the story for me with MTG models is initially I thought, a little bit pricey for a G-Shock. Some people don't feel that way. There are much more expensive G-Shocks out there. But for me, G-Shocks have always been like a beater watch, a watch I can wear and not worry about ever. That's the whole point. I wear my G-Shocks to the gym. I don't care if they get knocked around on plates or equipment because they can take it. For that purpose, I don't even buy the metal ones usually. Maybe a metal head on some of the new, I guess we'll call them the Casios with metal, but the straps have always remained resin for me. But this one did catch my attention. As I said, I didn't have to put my own money out for it, so it was a little bit easier to try something new. But this fully metal MTG 3000, I think, is a really, really interesting piece. Now, I want to start with the finish on the metal, I guess, because I'm kind of a finish nerd on my watches. It's one of the reasons why I have more Grand Seikos than anything else. Currently, I have 5 Grand Seikos, so obviously I love finishing. There is a rumor, not rumor, it's been documented, but like it's only a single source documentation from what I've seen, that MTGs and MRG Seikos are actually finished in the Grand Seiko factory, where they do the metal finishing on contract to Casio. And I think that's entirely likely that that's the case because that's typical of Japanese to subcontract to each other based on skill sets and toolings and things like that. So why wouldn't you? And the polishing here is arguably black polish. If it's not Grand Seiko quality, it's pretty close at least. I know some people have found some of the Oceanuses have similar finishing, and I've again seen the rumor that Oceanus series are also finished in the Grand Seiko factory. So it does have that great deep black polishing, mirror polish, which works really well on something like this that has a lot of facets to it. I do like visually interesting watches. I don't like it when the visual interest comes from extra stuff added, but what is there is managed, and the way it catches light. I think this one does a great job of that. So from the case finishing with the subtle differences, there's some slight polishing on the IP bolts here, to the links themselves, the edges. It does have a lot of visual interest in the way it catches light. The dial itself, behind sapphire glass, has very interesting markers that have a kind of brushed finish that catches the light really well. Have a slight rainbow effect like these type of markers often have depending upon the light. They are highly visible, and again, because they are faceted, they catch the light really well when you move it, making visibility very good. The hands themselves, as I believe reading on the Grand Seiko site, they start out with an IP coating and they are laser etched and then coated again to give the format, the finish format that you see here. It is of course radio and solar and Bluetooth equipped. All the features that you'd actually want, probably more features than I will ever use. Like many new G-Shocks, it is relatively thin. I believe this one is only a little bit over 12.5-ish millimeters. You can check the site for the exact, but it is relatively thin. I can show you on my wrist quite quickly, that it doesn't stick up very much at all. My wrist is 7.25 inches. I wear my watches with about enough slack to fit a finger underneath. And this is despite being fairly wide and broad, it is a very unobtrusive G-Shock considering its size. Sits very flat, very comfortable, has a little bit of a riser on both sides that may be used to on some Japanese watches, makes it very comfortable. I'm finding I'm wearing this actually far more than I thought I would at first, because of its comfort, its utility, and its visibility, and just the way it's a very enjoyable watch to see how it plays in the light. Another neat touch, I was not sure if I like it or not, was the rubber bumpers, I guess you might call them, on the clasp. This is designed, I believe, to help prevent desk diver scratches that we are used to so much, and also for me working on my laptop or whatever, prevents the watch from scratching the laptop rest area and the keyboard as well. So it's kind of a win-win in that sense. Bracelet itself is good quality. It has resin fillers behind metal links, which for me increases comfort, especially with the kind of channeling that it has. Keeps it off the skin, allows some air to move. It's light but not too light, kind of titanium type lightness. It's not the same as it would be solid steel, but that's fine. I don't normally equivocate weight of watches with quality. I know that that's kind of a thing for some people that I believe is a leftover from the era of gold and even platinum watches, that the weight of the watch would tell you the kind of metal used. But I do enjoy lighter watches as long as they feel well built. I do like titanium watches a lot, and I do like what G-Shock has done here with the resin and steel mix. It is a very comfortable watch. It's a very useful watch. It's a very visually interesting watch. It is not a cheap watch. In Japan, it is 130,000 yen. I think today, with currency, it's going to be a little bit under $1,000 US. But it's a fun piece. If you're interested in it, if you've been waiting for the steel version to come out, it's here. If it's something you think you might enjoy, I encourage you to pick it up and enjoy it. I know I will. This will be staying in my collection, and I look forward to enjoying it in the future. If you get yours, I hope you do too. And that's it for now. Take care. Until next time.